and welcome to another video. In today's video, this will be an introduction of Franklin High School Robotics team and what we do yearly. So right now I'm displaying the website of Franklin High School Robotics, which was created pretty recently, and it'll have all the information about our team and the competitions that we've participated in. I'm just going to briefly go over the competitions that we talked about and what we did this year. So annually, the robotics team participates in Savage Soccer, which is a competition held by WPI every year. WPI is located in Worcester, and typically teams in Massachusetts and Connecticut, and sometimes New York, they participate in this competition. This year's game was Bots Bounty. And basically, to explain the game in simple terms, you'd have two robots here and two robots here, and basically the robots have to move, take these circular object, also known as doubloons, and put them inside this bucket. And they'd keep doing that, and for the end game, they'd have to take this flag and bring it here, and this flag and bring it there. So that's typically what the competition was this year. We did a huge analysis of how to score points and the breakdown of the match in general, so we could strategize what we did. And we have two teams since we have a pretty big robotics team. We have two smaller teams that both focus on robots, so the entire team can actively participate in the competition. So this is Team A robot design. Basically, we had a 4-motor drivetrain, we had a 4-bar lift, and we had a claw. So right here, this is our claw. Basically, it would pull in the doubloons. So our robot would just go straight here, lift the lift up, and then pull back on the doubloon so it could fall on to this part. So the doubloons would fall onto here, and then we would bring it to the bucket, and then this claw would open. And you can see by the motor right there. It would make this side move out so that the doubloons could just fall into the bucket. This was Team A's robot design, which is really successful as they ended up making it to the finals. Team B's robot design, they had a 2-motor drivetrain, and they originally had a lift where basically this would just come up and this would come up, and do you see this part right here with right there? This would slide up and down, lifting the doubloons, and in the back of it, they had a small push bot to push all the doubloons into the bucket. Because as you can see right here, there's like a little slit right there, so you could push all the doubloons in as long as they're on the ground. So that was their design. And like I said earlier, Team A made it to the finals, so they won the finalist award this year. Here are some pictures. This is Team A, Team B. And yeah, that was basically Savage Soccer this year. Now I'm going to talk about the Vex competition. So this year's event was Vex Tower Takeover. So basically, you had all these cubes and you had to stack them and put it inside this square. You do that, or you could put some of the cubes on top of these towers, and if they are the same color as the ones inside the square, there's like a multiplier, so some of those same color cubes would be worth more points. We watched both of these videos, both given by Vex Robotics, and they really broke down the match for us so we could really understand what's going on. So this was Team A's robot design, or Vex Robotics. Basically, we had a double reverse 4-bar lift and a 2-motor drivetrain. This proved ineffective because the robot had trouble moving, as 2 motors couldn't possibly move this huge, massive lift, the claw, and like everything, right? In the future, we plan on having more motors and more powerful motors with the V5 system so that a robot can move quicker around the field. As for the claw, we had like a cube clamp, as you can see here. Basically, this would open and close and grasp the cube, and then place it wherever it needs to go. And we also had the claw long enough so it could stack, I believe, 7 cubes. This was Team B's robot design. There was no gear ratio, but basically what they had was they'd have this intake, which was chain driven, and it could kind of intake the cubes, and the cubes would go up. That was Team B's robot design. Unfortunately, it was not as successful because the intake was not exactly measured, and it just had a lot of trouble bringing in more than one cube. Overall, for this competition, we made it past the qualifiers, but unfortunately got knocked out of the first round because the other team we were versing was really, really good. They had a really good robot. So unfortunately, we were knocked out. We plan on doing better next year with the new V5 system. And I would also like to talk about what else we did as a club this year. This year, we created a robotics channel. I mean, as you know, because you're watching this video. Something we thought that we could help out the community by creating tutorials about how to code, and we'll be creating tutorials about how to create robots from scratch so that everyone else can know how to build a robot. Not only that, but we also planned a face-off competition for our school where basically you'd have a robot in the aligned square and it'd have to do a lot of challenges and obstacles. As you can see, these two are the saucers. There was 2-minute, 10-second rounds, and there would be multiple ways you could score. So as you can see, these are the balls and these are the cones, and these are what we call the saucers. If you take the cones and put it on top of a mobile zone here, or if you pull yourself on the hang bar, you'd get a lot of points for that. There's also points for stacking cones in these tiers per se, or mobile zones. Uh, there's also flags. This is a pretty complex competition. It can really help prepare for future Vex competitions, as all these parts are from previous Vex competitions. Other than that, that was pretty much our robotics year for this 2019-2020 season. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll look forward to giving this presentation next year. Thank you very much.